Parasha Meditation, Parashat Shelach. So this parasha is very special for me and my family because we returned from being 4 years in the United States exactly 30 years ago in Parashat Shelach. And it wasn't such an easy landing. We were 2.5 years cushioned with floor-to-floor carpets, and everything was organized. And now in Israel, it seemed like all the kids had runny noses. It seemed like all the lamps were missing, with just light bulb hanging down. The walls were peeling. Everything was not so appealing to us until it was Shabbat, and we started to read the Sfat Emet about how you have to look at Eretz Yisrael with inner vision. You have to crack the nut of Eretz Yisrael. The spies were supposed to latour at Eretz Yisrael, but which means to see the good points, to tour, to have fun, to see the good points. But instead, they became meraglim, which means spies who are looking for the bad. So we had to transform ourselves from being meraglim to latour. And it was a feeling of letting go of all these exterior layers of our own materialism and attachment to the material until we could get to the place that we can get to that inner vision of the land of Israel. And when we got there, then Baruch Hashem, we could see the land of Israel's beauty beyond the exterior. And it was so special, Baruch Hashem. And now, I'd like to share a little bit with you this Sfat Emet that really opened ourselves up to connect with the land of Israel in a deeper way, to develop inner vision. Because only through inner vision is it possible to see the goodness of the land of Israel. Living in Israel brings about many obstacles. Their life can be rough and tough, and salaries, at least at that time, 30 years ago, and may have changed a bit, salaries were substantially lower than in the States. If you're lucky enough to even get a job, people can be pushy, the sapras, and bureaucracy is very frustrating. And not to mention, it seems like a lot of mess all around and disorganization. But we got to the place to discover that hidden light of the land, which is so strong that it almost blinds us. Our emunah can lead us to overcome all the exterior obstacles and connect with divine essence inherent in the Holy Land like no other. This can be compared to discovering Shabbat. First, what we notice is everything, all the things we're not allowed, for me, as about tshuva, all the things I'm not allowed to do on Shabbat. And it took some time to learn to see the beauty and all the greatness that Shabbat affords us. So the same thing is living in the land of Israel. We really have to open ourselves to receive those hidden blessings of the land. Netivot Shalom explains that the mistake of the spies was that they didn't understand the spiritual quality of the land of Israel, which is beyond nature. They thought as soon as they would leave the desert, their miracles would cease. Therefore, they wanted to spy the land of Israel in its physical sense, to learn what's the best military strategy to conquer it. Moshe, he understood that he had in mind that the spies would explore the spiritual nature of the land of Israel. He understood that because of the holiness of the land, which is so great, so is its flip side. The land of Israel is surrounded by all kinds of impure husks, the Canaanites, the Amalekites, And it's important to prepare ourselves spiritually to entering the land of Israel by discerning the nature of these husks in order to know how to overcome them. For this reason, Hashem told Moshe to spy the land according to his own da'at, his own mindset, rather than according to the mindset of the spies who thought to explore only the physical nature of the land. The only way to conquer the land is through steadfast emunah in its supernatural quality, realizing how the eye of God is constantly overseeing it. Since the spies were lacking this emunah, they were unable to conquer the land. Okay, actualizing the hidden light of the land, Caleb and Yehoshua were the only one that responded to the, in the way of seeing the goodness of the land. And they said to all of the Israelite congregation, the land that we passed through to explore, this land is tov me'od me'od. It's very, very good. They encouraged the Israelites to understand that if you look for the spiritual quality of the land, then the good light hidden within it is revealed. The Jewish people and the land of Israel are one. This land is prepared for the Jewish people alone. Israel becomes rectified through the land, and the land becomes rectified through Israel, meaning the Jewish people. And that's why it says, what we read in the beginning of Pirkei Avot from Yeshayahu 60:21, your people, the children of Israel, are all righteous. Therefore, they shall inherit the hidden land. Like usually the word le'olam, Yeshua, it's like they shall forever inherit the land. Le'olam can also mean the hidden land. So we, the Jewish people, we are supposed to inherit that hidden land and forever. You can understand it both ways. And so the land is very concealed and hidden, but we can crack the husk open and actualize the hidden lights within the land. And that's why when Hashem created the world, first it states the land was desolate and void, and only afterwards God said, let there be light. In the same way, before the Israelites entered the land, its hidden goodness was not revealed within it. This is why the spies said, the land through which we have gone to search is a land that eats its inhabitants. Hi. The spies didn't understand that the land of Israel spat out all the nations who lived beforehand because it is prepared for the Jewish people alone. Let not the land vomit you out like for having defiled it, as it vomited out the nations that preceded you. Said it state in Vayikra 18:28. Only Caleb and Yehoshua understood that the Jewish people have the power to reveal the hidden light within the land. So when we believe in a spiritual nature, but that's only when we believe in its spiritual nature. So that's why Caleb and Yehoshua said, the land is exceedingly good. If Hashem desires us, then he'll bring us into this land. The land of Israel is similar to Shabbat. We have to recognize first its heart, and then we have to recognize the source of all blessings are encoded in Shabbat. Maybe we could say Shabbat is the source of all blessings in terms of time, while Eretz Yisrael is the source of all blessings in terms of space. Okay, so now we get ready for the actual meditation. So close your eyes, make yourself comfortable, take several deep breaths and relax even more. Imagine one of your favorite places in the land of Israel. It could be a sandy beach with blue frosty waves of water, or perhaps the green mountains of the Galilee. You may be drawn to the plain, empty, vast desert, or the fervent, fiery stones of the Kotel, the Western Wall, or to any other place or nature spot in Eretz Israel that you really love. Visualize your chosen place. Take it in visually with all its colors, shapes, and textures. Now hear the sounds of your favorite place. The birds singing, the people praying, the water gushing, the wind blowing. Touch your favorite place and feel its textures. Which part are soft, rough, dry, or moist, cold or hot? Smell now the fragrance of the flowers, the richness of the soil, or the freshness of the grass after the rain, or perhaps the perspiration of the person sitting next to you, if you don't mind. Now taste the tastes of the place, the salty or sweet waters, the fruits growing in your chosen place. Even the air has a taste. Take in your favorite place with all of your senses. Feel comfortable and enjoy. Mentally thank Hashem for having created this place that your soul yearns for in Eretz Israel. Eretz Israel can be broken down into Aleph, 1, Ratz, run, Yashar, straight, El, to God. 1, run straight to God. Inhale, Aleph. 1, exhale, Ratz, run. Inhale, Yashar, straight. Exhale, El, to God. Repeat this sequence for 4 additional times. Inhale, Aleph. Exhale, Ratz. Inhale, Yashar. Exhale, El. Inhale, Aleph. Exhale, Ratz. Inhale, Yashar. Exhale, El. Inhale, Aleph. Exhale, Ratz. Inhale, Yashar. Exhale, El. Now do the rest of them on your own. The last time on your own. Very good. Now imagine a place in Israel that you have a difficult time with. Perhaps it is noisy, smelly, or tense. Possibly you may feel that it's disorganized, tough, and rough. Perhaps in place of a red carpet, you encounter thorns. Tune into this place. Notice the things that disturb you. Breathe Hashem's light into the challenges you face in this place and try to get in touch with the redeeming quality of each of them. Maybe the roughness that meets you is an expression of honesty and sincere directness. When you open your inner vision, you can transform the tense to become intense. Repeat the Eretz Israel breathing sequence again as you envision the place that is difficult for you to relate to in the land of Israel. Visualize, inhale Aleph, exhale Ratz. Inhale Yashar, exhale El. And repeat it a few more times. To yourself. Visualize each of the difficulties that you have in this place of Israel bursting one by one as you breathe the letters of Eretz Israel into them. With practice, you develop your inner vision and actualize the hidden light of the land, even within its darkest places. When you're ready, you can softly tap your hands and feet and open your eyes. And I'd just like to read to you the poem that I wrote when we returned to the land of Israel exactly 30 years ago in 1992. Seeing the land. The land of Israel is like a nut that must be cracked. We need faith to believe that the fruit exists within the shell. The shell that blocks our vision calls attention to the rough and difficult life. Yet our emunah will lead us to see with other eyes. When we let our eyes penetrate beneath the shell, then we'll be ready to crack it open. The shell is like nature. The fruit is beyond. If we try to exist in this land according to the rules of nature, then the shell becomes like a wall which pushes us out. Only when we surrender to the will of God will we be able to crack the nut open and see the hidden light which fills this land. We discover that the shell was only part of our limitation, a reflection of our blocked vision, now penetrated and dissolved. We need not discard the shells, but employ them in building bridges above struggling waters and channel them into canals and ditches. Like love flows from the heart, transforming our lives to nurture gardens of Eden. So that's it. Okay. Yeah, we're going to stop the recording. Yeah, right away, stop it.